Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing my 2022 bullet journal setup. I'm very excited. I decided to stick with my JetPen's exclusive Kanso Noto notebook. It is a notebook that I bought about mid-year when I switched to this A5 Tomoe River paper notebook, and I just love it. I have so many pages left because Tomoe River paper is so thin, so I figured it would be a waste if I switch notebooks because of all this beautiful paper that I wouldn't be using. So we're just continuing on using this notebook and trying our best not to waste it, as is often my habit. I've been trying to be better about using my notebooks, you know? I started with a, does that count as hand lettering? It's more like I drew cover page for 2022, and I also did a quick year at a glance kind of layout. I don't know, because it seemed like it matched. I probably won't use it. I don't really use year at a glances, but I do kind of like how they look. And then I went ahead and decorated the cover page a little bit with some washi tape and some stickers of my own. The little airplane stamp and the little flower sticker, those are in my shop. I love them very much. I'm very proud of them. So that's just a little shameless plug. And once the cover page is all set up, I move on to the next page, and I decided I really wanted to do a future log. Again, I'm not great at using my future log, to be fully honest. I have a tendency to just use Google Calendar for most of my future planning, but I think it's like a nice to have thing anyway. So I decided to do a very simple, minimalist future log. I just divided up each page into sixths so that I could fit a whole year on one spread. And then I once again just stamped in all of the little months. My little ink pad is running out of ink so badly. I probably need to get a new one soon. But yeah. And I decided, because it felt so blank, I decided to copy over the little months again. Just so I would have kind of an overview and see when each date is. And I went ahead and filled it out with birthdays and holidays and such after I was done setting up. And now we're on to my resolutions page. This is my favorite page, and every setup, I love doing these. I made myself a little bit of a kind of statement for my resolutions and my goals for 2022, and my main one is that I want to work really hard and I want to rest really well. I am pretty good at working very hard. If you don't know, I have a Patreon, I have a shop, I have Twitch, I have social media everywhere, and I make new content literally all the time. And to be fully honest, it is quite exhausting. So I wanted to also add on rest well to my resolution, because I am not good at resting. This is your little reminder that if you are tired and burnt out, please rest if you can, because your body and your mind will thank you. And I am very bad at resting. I talk all the time about how we need to take care of ourselves and, like do self-care and stuff, but I am so bad at it. So I am trying my best to make it a resolution for next year. And then I also made a little spread where I wrote out like more detailed resolutions and goals for 2022, and I decided to decorate it with a little bit of a hand-drawn flower. It's a lily of the valley. I decided on it because I love Animal Crossing, to be totally honest, and I thought that a lily of the valley would remind me to have kind of a 5-star year. Alright, once that spread was done, I decided to make a couple of collections. I, again, am not great at using my collections, but I do often need a brain dump page, so that's kind of what I decided to go for. I wanted a page to write down all the projects that I want to make, both art and craft projects. I have a lot of sewing projects and knitting projects that I want to make next year, and I also just have a lot of art things that I want to make, like bigger art projects. I really want to make a recipe zine. Oh my god, please. Let me make the time to do that. And I also have a couple of other art goals next year, so I thought I would make a page to dedicate to just brain dumping it all out, you know? Because otherwise, I don't write them down and I tend to forget until like the last minute. So yeah, I decided to decorate by drawing in little sunflowers. I've had such a fun time this past half year or so, working on just line art of florals. They are so fun. It's what I filled my entire bullet journal with, just flower doodles, you know? So I decided to kind of make a sunflower themed spread for my products to make brain dump and also my reading list. I am trying once again to make a reading list of all the books I've read because I have not been reading in 2021 and 2020 and 2021. I have basically barely read any books, and I used to read all the time. I used to read so many books, and I miss it. So I think that will be one of my rest well things, you know, for my resolution, is to read again, because I really like reading. So I decided to make a reading list, and it's just very simple, you know? And now we're doing our very last spread of this setup. I told you it's going to be a very simple bullet journal setup. And this is kind of a year in pictures concept. I have this Polaroid zip printer that I quite like. I prefer it over my Instax printer now because of how thin the pictures are. The Instax is pretty bulky, you know, the Polaroids are kind of bulky. I like that this one is pretty thin and it doesn't like completely ruin the texture of the paper when I'm writing on the next page. So, yeah, I just drew in little placeholders for every single month of the year. I wanted it to look kind of collagey, like someone had kind of taped all of the pictures up on a wall, you know? I went ahead and did a little bit of decorating with some washi tape, and then because I had one blank page left and I didn't really know what to do with it, I decided to make it a 2022 moments spread. I decided to make a 2022 moments page, and I thought I would just write down all of the moments in 2022 that I really want to remember. Like, I don't know. Like if Alan surprises me with bread or something. Those make that, I like when he does that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the whole setup. I hope this was helpful and maybe gave you a couple of ideas for your 2022 setup. I really prefer a very minimal setup. I used to try to make all these collections, and to be honest, I didn't use them. So this time we went with something very minimal and very simple, just a couple pages, and then we are ready to set up for January 2022. And I think I will be doing my monthly setups in the future on Twitch, because I feel like they're quite repetitive and would be kind of boring to make a YouTube video again for every single month. So if you want to see those in the future, follow me on Twitch. And that's it. Thank you so much for being part of my cozy little space on the internet. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. Thank you for a wonderful 2021. And I will see you very soon. Goodbye, friends.